players in the food industry are harming us whether we realize it or not. They are doing this in 3 ways. 1, by putting harmful chemicals into our food. 2, by misleading us and making us buy products that we originally didn't want to, either by misbranding or by putting false information onto their products. And 3, by using unjust practices in producing their food. To start things off, I'm going to talk a little bit about GMOs, which are genetically modified organisms, because just recently an article came out in the Huffington Post saying that over 70% of the processed food that we eat here in America are produced with GMOs. Does anyone know a little bit about GMOs or can contribute a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
When something has been modified by a human, right?
Yeah, like an organism, but in this instance more like plants. And I'll give you like a little bit more in-depth like detail of what it is. So I'm going to take a hypothetical corn seed and then a hypothetical Arctic flounder, which is a fish found in the Arctic. And scientists have found a way to take the gene from the Arctic fish that codes for its ability to withstand incredibly cold temperatures and put it into the DNA of the corn seed. So farmers can take these corn seeds and then plant them, and they have the ability to grow year-round because they can withstand the cold temperatures in the winter. This sounds good in theory because you can produce more corn. However, people don't know the impacts these genetically modified organisms have on the human body because there haven't been any studies done. So there have been recent studies done on hamsters, for instance, where they're only fed genetically modified soy, and these hamsters actually lose their ability to reproduce by their 3rd generation, which is horrible. And there's also other studies that farmers in the Philippines that produce these genetically modified corn have significantly decreased immune systems and are way more susceptible to disease. Other chemicals other than genetically modified organisms are being put into the products that we eat. For instance, chemical dyes, and a chemical called BHT and another one called BHA. And these have all been found to be carcinogenic, which means that they're linked to cancer. And they have been put in foods such as like Cheetos to get the orange colored dye, and Gatorade to get the coloring, and Mountain Dew has the BHT and the BHA. And these chemicals have actually already been banned in places like the UK and Japan, but the US continues to sell these products to their consumers. It's one thing to have these chemicals in the products that they sell to the people of the United States. However, a lot of companies are actually producing misleading information and saying that their products are actually healthy for you, or have not only healthy but are environmentally friendly when they're not. One major company that does this is Kashi. They claim to be all natural and actually good for you when almost all of the components that are put into Kashi are synthesized or processed or just chemicals that they produce. It's incredibly bad for the people that consume it, and they still claim to be all natural. Furthermore, other companies claim to be environmentally friendly when they're not, such as Hormel meat processing company. They put on their packaging that they're the natural choice, however, and that they're environmentally friendly. However, they have made minor changes to increase or decreasing their carbon footprint. However, they still, from their factories and producing the meats, have an incredibly large carbon footprint. Furthermore, companies might not put these chemicals in their products, but they're still using unjust practices to produce their food. One company in general is Nestle, which has been recently found to have child labor practices within their supply chain. Another one is Tyson Foods, which has been linked to animal abuse in producing the pork that they feed us. And another one that Tom actually mentioned earlier about Fiji water, and then and Nestle again, actually take the water from their country, either it being Fiji or for Nestle's the Philippines, and take it and bottle it up and export it to the United States, but they're taking the water that is vital for the people and the citizens of that country to survive off of. And the citizens have a limited amount of safe water to drink. There are so many other instances of companies either being unjust in their practices, having misleading information, or even having harmful chemicals in their products. And the only thing that we can do is just to stay informed and to know what products we're buying and what companies we're buying from. And I printed out a list for you guys of a list of companies that claim to be either healthy or natural and actually contain GMOs and other chemicals like that, and then a list of companies that don't. And if we can just stay informed and stay aware, it'll make significant improvements to what we buy and what we purchase and how we feed ourselves.